Hey, Scott Spears here with you on this Memorial Day Eve. Thought I'd take the time to tape a blog. Haven't done this for a while, but I've had so many interesting guests on Over Breakfast with Scott Spears, by the way, airing on WDCM 97.5 FM, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Streamed live on the internet, www.radiomarion.com. And you can email me at overbreakfast975@gmail.com. Got all that out of the way. It is Memorial Day Eve, as I say. It is very warm. We had to move inside because it is 9:30 and it is still 90 degrees outside. The humidity currently sits at about 173%. So we had to move inside as I was drenched with perspiration. I wanted to talk a little bit about the guests I've had on as of late. Friday, Ted Williams, the Golden Voice. Class act in every sense of the word. I was so excited to meet this man. Everybody was so excited to meet this man. We set a WDCM rating record. The internet server went down during the interview because we had so many people trying to stream the interview. Ted's a class act. Ted came in, he was kind to everybody, and the interview was fascinating. He was honest. I can't say enough nice things about Ted. And let me tell you how nice Ted Williams is. First of all, what's he doing now, less than a year and a half after being off the streets himself? He started a charity working for the homeless. So, come on, he's a wonderful gentleman. Here, let me tell you about his character. In the studio, we had 40th Treasurer of the United States, Mary Ellen Withrow, Miss Ohio 2011, Ellen Bryan, Charlie Evers, myself. In the building, we had my fiance, Jessica. We had General Manager of the station. We had Ann Morris, who was taking pictures that day, and we had Eric, who drove up with Ted Williams. When Ted left, he gave everybody a hug. He didn't just say goodbye, he gave everybody a hug. He took pictures with everybody, he signed books. I do want to mention his book here because he is a wonderful gentleman. The book is A Golden Voice, Ted Williams, and I'll read what he wrote in here. To Scott and the WDCM family, remember to keep God first in all things are possible, smiley face, love, Ted Williams. Ted Williams. And that's how I'm always going to remember this gentleman, Ted Williams, with love, because he is a loving guy. So Ted, wherever you are, I hope you see the continued success and our love back towards you. And I hope you come back with us many, many times. I've told you about my aunt who was a fat lady in a circus. I never saw a picture of her until recently. Her name was Nettie Wilson. This is a picture of her that we have unearthed. Right there. That's Nettie Wilson. Can you zoom in on Nettie? Nettie was a fat lady in a circus in the early 1900s. And actually, after this picture was taken, she developed diabetes, had her 2 legs amputated, but did not want to quit the circus life. So she became a snake handler. True story. You can't make stuff like that up. But my relative, Nettie Wilson. Recently, I've had on the show Ed Asner, who I love from the Mary Tyler Moore Show, from many, many movies. He sent me an autographed picture. Thank you, Ed. To Scott the Wise, the best of life, and thanks, Ed Asner. Gotta love Ed Asner. And he did a terrific interview. That's an honest man. Gotta love Ed Asner. Now, I want to talk about some other interviews I've done recently that have gotten some attention. Had Bill Walter on, William Walter, who worked for the FBI in New Orleans in the 1960s during the JFK assassination. And he says he received a teletype from Washington, J. Edgar Hoover, the FBI, saying that there was going to be an assassination on November the 22nd, 1963. He got this teletype November the 17th, 1963. It's a fascinating interview. I haven't put it up on YouTube yet. But the thing that was so interesting about this interview, he doesn't really claim he knows who killed Kennedy, but he finds it shocking that Oswald called himself a patsy and Jack Ruby had ties to New Orleans, as did Lee Harvey Oswald. The fascinating thing about this interview was Bill Walter, for the first time, admitted that he stole documents from the FBI. Apparently I could be in trouble, he could be in trouble, we all could be in trouble, but hey, I guess that's life. I hope Bill's still out there. The end of the interview went like this. Bill told me he'd never revealed that he had these documents, stole these documents from the FBI office in New Orleans, and he said he expects to get a knock on the door from the FBI. And I said, well, am I in trouble, Bill, for doing this interview? And he said, well, I don't know. But let me tell you something. When you ask somebody if you're going to be in trouble, if your life is in trouble, the answer you want to hear is not, I don't know. So, but fascinating stuff. The other interview I want to tell you about is the voodoo woman I had on recently, Reverend Dr. Lady Bishop. Nice lady, fascinating woman. Voodoo's an interesting subject, but she cursed me. Now, here's what happened. I called her up on the phone on a Sunday, and she answered the phone, and I accidentally hung up on her. I guess it made her a little furious. So she called back, got my answering machine, and she left on the answering machine. She said a verse from the Bible, and then she said I would be 2 generations before me cursed, and 2 generations after me will be cursed. So I apologized, of course, and she said the curse was gone, but I don't know. If you're watching this, maybe this is the continuation of the curse.